some cerebral palsy,
Sorry.
autism, really a little bit of everything.
Yes. And what did you say the name of your program was?
Me,
Yes.
the AAS room, they continue to change the name,
Yes.
Falcon
Yes.
Cane Room to AAS, I try to keep up.
Yes. And mine is called ALC, but my daughter,
ALC.
she's in FSLC.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When you first started, were you
It's at 6:30.
6:30.
Yes.
Give it.
like
Okay.
terrified? Like, were you guys scared, or did you go in there with confidence? Like, how did you guys when you first started?
I was scared. Even though I have an autistic daughter and my son that's has multiple disabilities, I was still scared because every child is different. So when I went in there, I had to already think, okay, I know they're probably not going to be like my child. I know they're going to be different. So I was kind of scared, but I went in with confidence because I knew if they was even similar like my kids or not even similar, I knew that I was gonna go in there and I was gonna do what I need to do and learn because it's definitely a learning experience for each individual student.
Yes.
I understand.
I was definitely nervous going into it. My first year as a para, I was a one-on-one with a student, where we would venture out into the school and go to some other classes, which was wonderful. And after my first year is when they moved me to the AAS room. And I was nervous about that. It was a new experience, but gosh, the first 5 minutes of meeting those kids, I fell in love.
And you can tell when I meet paras, some go, some stay. You can really tell who enjoys what they do and who absolutely love what they're doing, and it's a big difference.
It's a big
Very big.
difference. It is.
Parents, we can, we can read people. I'm really good at reading the energy and their vibes, and I can kind of tell if you really love my child or you just doing this for a job. But I don't think
Right.
want to work with special needs children for the pay. They have to really love it because you guys don't get paid a whole bunch. You gotta really love what you're doing.
For the money.
Not for the money. No.
You gotta love it.
Definitely not for the money.
How
It
many?
Hey,
is
ladies.
100% the love for the children.
Yes, 100%.
Hi, ladies. It's Michelle. I'm sorry. I'm just chiming in. I'm actually in the car headed home. I just got off an airplane, so but I promised I was going to be here.
Thank you for being here. We're just asking questions. Did you want to answer some of the questions I asked? Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay. How long have you been a paraprofessional?
Okay, so I am no longer a paraprofessional, as I said in your chat. But when I was one for 3 years.
Okay. What was the population of students that you worked with? Was it behavior problems, autism?
All of the above. When I first started as a para, I was in the Gen Ed population, so I was in the interrelated sector. And then by special request, apparently, I was requested to come to the intellectual disability side. So I had students who had mild, moderate, severe, and profound intellectual disabilities. So that ranged from autism to behavioral to multiple disabilities to I had a student that had cerebral palsy, in addition to having multiple disabilities. She was classified, and I was in Georgia at the time, so she was classified as moderate intellectual disability. And so, yeah, you name it, I've had it. And because I now lead a special ed department, I'm over the special ed department at the school that I currently work at. Of course, I see it all.
Thank you. Thank y'all for working for our babies. Thank you guys for working for our babies. Now, Tamika, were you ever a one-on-one, or it's always been a group setting?
Always a group setting. Always. A big group, small group. Yes.
Okay, now I know it doesn't work with Dallas, but seeing Dallas, but you say that she would be a person that would need a one-to-one.
Yes.
I would say so.
Yes.
Hmm.
I'm struggling with that right now with them. I think she needs a one-to-one.
Yes.
Okay, what,
Yeah, I think she would need that.
ma'am, Miss? What you said?
I think she definitely would need a one to one to get
Hmm.
that intensified specialized support and that one person that she knows is there for her and that can trust her both versus being around multiple
Yes.
people. I think it will work best for her, behavioral wise, academic wise, all the above.
Yes.
I think she needs a one-to-one. I do. Okay, next question is, what motivated you to become a paraprofessional?
Well, like I said earlier, what motivated me, I'm gonna say my children. Because growing up, I've never heard of autism. I rarely heard of cerebral palsy. I barely knew how to say the word until my son. So as raising my son by myself and I'm seeing other kids on down the years, I'm like, okay, I've never seen this many kids that had cerebral palsy or with multiple disability. So I'm like, well, maybe I need to start looking for a job that I think that will better fit me and will better educate me on learning more about my son. Because having a child with cerebral palsy and multiple disabilities, that is very challenging. I'm definitely going to say that because it comes with a lot. So as I like found out more things about it, then here come my daughter. She was autistic. So I'm like, okay, I need more training. The reading, okay, I'm reading, I'm listening to other parents. I need more hands-on with other children. That way, what I'm doing with my daughter, maybe I can see something or learn something in training that maybe I can bring home with me to help me with my daughter. So for me, my kids, my biggest motivation to become a paraprofessional. And the kids, I love those kids like I love my own. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Love it.
What about you, Madison?
Uh, you said me?
Madison, you can go, Madison.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, about 3 years ago, when I became a para, um, I was really unhappy with where I was working, what I was doing at the time. My sister has a degree in special education, but even prior to all of this, and they've just always had such a special place in my heart. A story that my mom loves to tell to this day. I was in kindergarten and there was a nonverbal kiddo in pre-K 4 right up under me. Her name was Riley Beth. And she would not approach anybody at all. Even her parents said she would barely approach them. But so we were outside on the playground one day, and she came up to me with a book and sat in my lap and handed me the book and wanted me to read it to her. And so, of course, I did, the best a kindergarten can, anyhow. But I mean, they have just always had such a special place in my heart. And when I had the opportunity to join this field, I was so excited.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank y'all for, I'm gonna say this a lot. Thank y'all. Seriously.
Mhm.
How about you, Miss Michelle?
So, my mother was actually a para. She retired. She's a retired paraprofessional, and so when I was in high school, college, all of that, especially in college, I would come home and she would work extended school year or summer camps or sometimes both, whatever. And so I would always be around the students that she had, and I knew then I just enjoyed working with students with disabilities, and so I was trying to find myself, I guess, really. And then when my nephew was born, my sister's son, he was born with severe developmental delays and multiple disabilities, things of that nature. And so that just kind of it infiltrated its way into our family. And so I honestly didn't want to start as a para, and that's just my true confession. I wanted to walk through the door as a teacher and get a provisional certification. But
Mhm.
um, the door that found me was coming through the door as a para because it got my foot through the door. But I don't regret that at all. I'm actually grateful that my story happened the way it did because it set the foundation and it made me appreciate the work that paraprofessionals do. And especially being in leadership, I am very, very protective of paras because um, people don't understand the roles that paraprofessionals play. They don't understand the weight that paraprofessionals carry, and so just but being a para just kind of found its way to me instead of me choosing it. But I'm grateful for the experience.
Perfect match. It was made for you.
Mhm.
Okay, so what do you find most rewarding and most challenging about being a paraprofessional?
Mm, I would say I'm gonna go with the challenges first. I'm gonna say being exhausted because sometimes with the behaviors, even though you go through multiple trainings, sometimes you do get exhausted. So you have to figure out how to get through exhaustion because you got to remember those children, the children didn't ask to be here. So we're there for them. So we got to learn how to work through that. Also, the number one big thing is the pay.
Yeah.
Is the pay. I'm gonna tell you that because where I work, it's a lot of paras. They didn't last because say, oh, the pay is not enough. We only get paid once a month, and I don't want to work for no $1,600 check, $1,700 check. So there's definitely it's definitely a challenge because like me, I'm a single mom. So getting paid once a month,
That's
let me
hard.
tell you, it's not easy. But I love the job I do, and I just don't see myself walking away. So the rewarding part of it, tell you, God will make a way, and He's making a way. I'm there for those children, and I'm gonna stay there for those children.
But thank you for our children.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
How about you, Madison?
The biggest rewards to me are all of the small steps that you see them taking every single day. For example, we have a kiddo in our class who really struggles with just letter recognition. In her science class, we are working on the periodic table, where
Mm.
in that periodic table, with all of those letters so mushed up together, she found the element of argon, AR, right there up in the corner by herself. She was the first kid who was able to find that. And when I tell you, I hollered and jumped up and down in the middle of the entire class, I sure did. I was so very excited. We had a kiddo come back at the beginning of this school year who was able to, he has a three-syllable name, was able to say his entire name, which we did not see last year. And when we just about threw a party in that room, we were
Wow.
all so excited. And just all of the small victories that you get to see with these kids every single day, oh, it makes your heart melt, and it is the most rewarding feeling. It is wonderful. The struggles, the biggest struggles, um, the support system,
Mm.
and I cannot speak for everybody, but that is what I feel is one of my largest struggles where I work, the support system.
See, this is what people need to know and hear about it because it's good. It's highs and lows, and you someone like a second parent. Our kids with you almost what 7 hours out of the day, you know. So you guys like a second parent. underappreciated. But I,
Yeah.
about you, Miss Coleman.
All righty. I would say the most rewarding thing is really what the other two ladies said. It's Madison and Miss. Is it Tamara or Tamara? Because
It's
I don't want to
Tamara.
say Tamara. Okay.
Yes.
um, what they said, like the children, to see your children grow, to see them just thrive. And I remember it was about, mm, it may have been about 4 or 5 years ago, somewhere around there. I was at this flea market, and I was with my mom and my sister, and I saw this little girl. I'm like, that child looks mighty familiar. And she was actually in the store with her mother, but her mother like was the shop owner, and she was in there working with her mom. And I was like, "Is your daughter?" I said, "Is that your daughter?" She's like, "Yes, ma'am." I said, "Is her name Tiffany?" She's like, "Yes." I said, "I used to teach Tiffany." I was like, "I was Sarah in her classroom back when she was at Stone Mountain." She's like, "Oh my God." I was like, "Yes, ma'am." And just to see where she's doing well and she's interacting with people and how she's grown and matured. That was just the most amazing thing to see. And just to hear stories of how other students are they're just trying to find their way, and their parents are putting them in programs that are helping them to thrive and to succeed. It's That's the rewarding part. And to know like these children, when everybody else in the world counts them out, say, well, no, they can't learn. We prove them wrong. We, work in conjunction with the teachers to prove them wrong. Like, yes, they can work. Yes, they can learn. Yes, they can. Even if it's just their living skills, it may not be things of true academia, but it's their living skills, their adaptive skills. They can learn, and to see them learn and grow is just immensely rewarding. The challenge, just as Ms. Madison said, the support. I would say the adults, not even the parents. It's the people in which the people with whom you work at the school. They are just the worst. Like the cerebral palsy baby I was telling you all about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
She was in a wheelchair, and we had to do things for her. Like she was in speech and feeding therapy, so she was learning how to hold her spoon because, of
Mm-hmm.
course, her muscles lock up and all that. So she was learning how to hold her spoon, learning how to feed herself. But we had to assist her with that. And again, as far as toileting is concerned, she couldn't. So she was, she wore a diaper. So the teacher that we had to change her. And
Mm-hmm.
mind you, this is a high school setting. So she is a teenage young woman who has her cycle. So there were times that we had to change that diaper, and she had on a maxi pad, and so we had to glove up and do what we had to do. And so I appreciate the fact that I had a teacher who, she couldn't do it by herself because she couldn't lift that child by herself because she was heavy. But it wasn't just, hey, Coleman, that's your responsibility. And actually, I heard, I have a friend of mine who just got into special ed, and she's going to be a pre-K teacher.
Oh
And
wow.
so some of the kids, they are going to have toileting issues. And so she was saying that somebody told her, "Oh, that's not my job to do. That's the parent's job." And I was like, let me stop you right there. I'm like, everything that happens in your classroom is your responsibility. You may be able to divvy out the task to the paraprofessional, but please don't ever walk through the door thinking that the dirty job and the nasty job that you don't want to do are the responsibility of the paraprofessional. It's the disrespect that's the biggest challenge for me, in addition to the pay. And I think the pay kind of piggybacks on the disrespect because they expect us to do the nasty, dirty job that they don't want to do. But then we get the nickels and dimes and nickels and pennies. We don't even get the dimes and the quarters. You
Mm-mm.
know, as the
No.
compensation. So that's what I would say.
Would you say when you're out in the class, say when you're out with the other students, do you feel judgment from the other teachers who don't work with special needs children? Like when I go out in public, you don't feel the judgment. Like they look at you like, okay, they don't look okay. No judgment for other teachers. Okay.
No.
Yeah, if you don't think about that, would you want to do high school at Madison or? Miss Gary, would you want to do high school? Or would you want to do keep it like elementary, or because you think about it, that's a lot, and that's gonna be.
Yes. Keep it elementary for me. Yes.
When I was one-on-one, I worked in a high school setting. Now where I'm at in the AAS classroom is at a middle school.
Okay, so middle school, you might
Oh.
have a little bit with the cycle, and oh, that's hard. You guys are amazing. That's hard. That's a lot.
And see, my class goes up to fifth grade. So we haven't had anyone yet that started their cycles, not yet.
Y'all, this is on her way,
Mhm.
and I struggle
Mhm.
with stopping it or keeping it. I'm really struggling with that. And when I struggle about keeping it, it's because I want her body to do what it's naturally supposed to do. I don't want to stop her body. But then I feel like if I stop it from having it, I feel like I'm being selfish, about stopping it. So I'm really
And
that right now.
I will say with that, being in the middle school, we've had lots of students have their first one on our watch, and a lot of times they don't understand what is going on. So it can be a bit scary to them, because they see a whole bunch of blood, but don't understand that it's a natural thing your body is supposed to do.
Mhm.
We have a couple of students who have kept theirs and, they're able to cope with it. We've have some students who, um, parents have chosen to not. And it really, I believe, all depends on your individual child. I wouldn't feel guilty by any means for, taking that route and opting for her to not have one because, again, a lot of them don't understand and it is scary for them.
Yeah, it sucks. They body grow, but they're mentally not there. But then their body still grow into a woman. So, if her seizure
Exactly.
increase, I'm gonna stop them because it could with the hormonal change, it could increase the seizure or it could stop them. So,
and I'm
Right.
glad y'all brought that up because my daughter, she's about to be 10. She has started acting out more, and the doctor said, we don't know, it could be them hormones changing. So I definitely have to make a decision soon.
I mean,
Hmm.
they are going to go through adolescence just as a child without disabilities. And I'm speaking from experience, again, working in the high school setting and having boys and girls. The boys go through their hormonal changes, and boys, we already know, just boys are disgusting anyway. Like, oh, go watch, go do things, you know. But that's the ones don't have anything wrong with them. But the ones with disabilities, they do understand, and then especially my experience working with students with autism, they have they like to sim anyway, and sometimes their simming is masturbating. It's like, stop that, because
Hmm.
mentally they may or may not. The sim, it's something that either it's some kind of soothing for them, so it's a texture thing or something that they may do. They may just like to rub their fingers together. They may like to rub on something soft. They may like the feel of something rough like sandpaper. It really depends. But they're just like, ooh, and I mean, their bodies are changed. They're going through the hormones. And whether they understand or not, their penises get hard. And they, you know, I don't, clearly, I don't know what's going on in their brains, but they don't understand that it's a natural thing and it's, whether it's arousal or they have to go to the bathroom or whatever the case may be, like they don't. And so the same thing with the girls, they're going through their hormonal changes, their bodies are changing, it's causing them to act out. And the one thing I always thought about, because when I had periods, um, my periods were horrible and I went through a lot of pain.
Hmm.
And that's the one thing I didn't know, if when Tiffany was on her cycle, if she was in pain. And that's something that's, something to consider, because especially if Tiffany was verbal, so she was able to express, but she never, said anything, but she may or may not have understood
she
the
was
pain. It's like my stomach hurts, I got a stomach ache. Like she may not have understood why she may have a stomach ache or be able to explain or express the type of pain. But again, she never said anything, and if she did, I don't remember. But someone who's nonverbal to be in that kind of pain and not be able to express why. That that's something that I've thought about as the students, the children, they grow, and into their young adulthood.
Yes. It's a touch hard subject for me to choose, but I've been praying about it and I get emotional about it. I don't want to cry. I get emotional about that one.
Yeah, I do too.
She's gonna be okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be okay.
It is.
Okay, question. Looking back on your time as a paraprofessional, what is one thing you learned that really stuck with you?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say, like I said before, the children didn't ask to be here for one, and we didn't. And it make me cry. Hold on.
Okay.
They have to remember that they didn't choose us; we chose them.
Yes.
And I have much added patience ever since I have worked there. So I'm going to look back all the time when I look at my daughter. It's all the added patience and all the added strength
Yes.
that I have learned. Definitely.
Yeah.
And I also love them the way I love my own.
And
Yep.
it might be hard,
Mm-hmm.
but no, you can see it, and you can tell. You have to
Mm-hmm.
have that connection. You gotta have that love of them. You can't do what you're doing, changing Pampers and dealing with the stemming and the parents and like all that. That's not a
Mm-hmm.
not a love.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about you, Madison?
I will definitely agree with the patience. It has taught me a lot of patience that I'm able to bring home into my own life. And that has changed me as a person a lot for the better. Those kids have really changed me for the better. And on top of that, what I, not me, what anybody owes those children is to speak up for them.
Damn.
And those kids, all the
Mm-hmm.
majority of them in my area, anywho, are nonverbal. And they can't go
Mm-hmm.
home and tell their parents what happened during the day. You've got to be able to have that backbone and stand up for them and speak up for them just like you would want done for your own child. And I feel like that is the most important thing that any para should have in the back of their mind. It is so important for us to be their voice.
Yes, that is.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe what about you, Miss Coleman?
Um, I think the most rewarding thing for me, I agree with everyone else, the patience. I'll add an extra layer, the compassion,
Mm-hmm.
um, that we have to have because, again, as Ms. Tamara said, they didn't ask to be here. None of us asked to be here. They definitely didn't ask to be born the way in which they were born, and things that they can't help. And some things they grow out of, some things they'll never grow out of. Um, some children, they may grow into adults and still never understand truly a lot of things that we take for granted in life. But the one thing that I've seen from children, like from my nephew down to like my sister and my brother-in-law are foster parents, they actually adopted two of their three foster kids, and they have special needs. These children walk around here with the most amazing sense of joy.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah.
they're happy, they're joyous, and it's like you don't even understand all the challenges that you're facing, all the things that are wrong with you, all the medical situations, all the mental disabilities, all the physical inhibitions, and you walk around with the biggest smile on your face like you don't have a care in the world. And that's something I
Mm-hmm.
take with me. Like, as bad as things are, they could always be worse. And there's no reason why we shouldn't have joy And there's nothing wrong with us. And these children walk around here just full of joy and full of life with all of the obstacles stacked against them. And that's just the biggest takeaway. And I'm like, if they can do it, I know I can do it,
We
because
can do
seeing
it.
them with joy gives me
Mhm.
joy.
That's right.
Wake up from Caesar happy and smiling. I can keep on moving too. She can do it. I can do it. And their heart is so pure. But one thing is, I'm a firm believer in Jesus Christ. And one thing that gives
Amen.
me, I know,
Amen. Mm-hmm.
hey God,
Man,
yes, to be with my Lord and Savior. They go on. They have all kinds. They do no wrong. They have no hatred. They are genuine souls.
That's
Yeah.
right. And with me being a mom of an autistic child and a medically dependent child and being a para, woo, I have learned a lot.
I was going to ask you. That's a lot.
Whew.
Work all day, then
mm-hmm.
I work all day and I come home. I work all day. And sometimes I come home and still have my work clothes on because I haven't had time to take off my clothes, wind down, take a bath. Yep.
so this gonna be a good year for you. Watch what I
Hmm. That's right.
just want to thank you guys for coming. Don't be surprised if you get a little treat in your inbox. I would like for you to also send me your cash app if you could, please. Send me your cash app because y'all took time, 30 minutes out of y'all day to come on here and just speak about what you deal with on a regular basis on your off day. So I appreciate you guys. If you can send me your cash app, I would greatly appreciate it. And I really appreciate you guys. You guys do not go unnoticed, but me, I know what you guys do. And
Hmm.
amazing. And Michelle,
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you.
I'd like to do this
Yes.
again. This is and
Yes.
me being who and how I am, y'all. This, I mean, I believe in community, and I don't know what state you all live in, but it's always to me just an opportunity to expand the network, expand the community, always have that extra support, because it
Yes.
appears that our what we do, especially you all being moms, I don't have children, but my niece and my nephews are my children, and it goes home. You know, we take our jobs home with us because we live with students that have children. I'm in my teacher mode, you know, children that have disabilities. And so,
Yes.
like, we never have the opportunity to turn it off. Whereas some people, they can just go home. It's like, okay, I'm off the clock. It's a done deal. I'll pick it up tomorrow. We don't have
Yes.
that luxury. Being parents and being aunties, we don't have that luxury. And I just want to say to you all who are mothers, Miss Pretty Brown and, and Miss Tamara, God chose y'all for a reason. And so don't take it lightly that you've been chosen for this assignment. And just know that, you know, he knew that you all were going to be strong enough to handle what he gave you, the precious gift that he gave you and your children. And know that this wasn't by accident, Miss Pretty Brown, that we're here. And so I say take us as a community and as that additional support. I know you have your own friends outside of this community, and you as well, Miss Tamara. Take it as,
Mhm.
I'm about to cry,
I know.
but take it as a take this as an opportunity to extend the network and extend the bond. And I believe in friendship and sisterhood. So if y'all ever
Yeah.
need me, inbox me. I don't mind giving you guys my number. I live in
Mhm.
Virginia, so I'm probably nowhere near any of y'all. But um,
Yes.
take, you know, I believe in anytime you can have a good community of people who love the Lord, who love children, and this is not just work. This is ministry. So God bless all of
thank you, Miss.
Thank you.
God bless.
You know,
And if I could add one last thing, I just want to say you are an amazing mother. Dallas is beyond blessed to
Hmm.
have you. And just from what I see on, your socials, and it seems like you are very raw and transparent on there. She is so beyond blessed to have a mother like you who cares so much, who stands up for her the way that you do, who is not afraid to have her out in public, who joins her in on her stimming out in public. More
Yes.
of our special needs kiddos deserve a parent like you. You are
That's right.
wonderful. You are
Hmm.
so wonderful.
Thank you. You guys are awesome. Don't forget to please send me guys your Cash App, and I'm gonna post this on my YouTube. I'll post a little bit of this on my Facebook, but mainly on my YouTube. I really, really appreciate you guys, and I look forward to doing it again because we got a high school view, middle school, elementary view, so we got a view from everyone. So this is perfect. I am so grateful. I really, really thank you guys, and do not forget to send me your Cash App, okay?
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Bye, Miss Coleman. Bye,
See
Tamika.
y'all later.
See
Y'all
ya. Bye.
love, love, love.
Love.
Bye.
Much love. Bye.